I have the senior pastor, Sword of Liberation Bible Church. He is a public affairs analyst, Bishop Austin Igbasan. Thanks for joining, Bishop.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
And next to Bishop is the leader of Edo Civil Society Organizations, Omobudiago. Well, you are a comrade. Nothing stopped me from calling you comrade Omobudiago.
I'm a leftist in the comrade.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, viewers, for joining us.
Okay, let me start with you, comrade. Bishop Austin Igbasan. You've been following programs of the government year in, year out, administration, pay administration that we've had from 1999 till date. We've had 25 years of unbroken democratic rule. And in spite of that, Nigerians are not seeing the gains as expected, impacting on the people. We keep having all of these challenges. What do you see as regards the necessitating factors militating against this?
Now, a lot of people, starting from Obasanjo's government, we have the issue of NAPEP that was headed by a very, very erudite scholar. Now, the purpose of that is to get to the grassroots. During Yaradua, we have intervention program. During Jonathan, we have fertilizer, we have farmers program. If you remember vividly, the rice, as at that time of Jonathan, we were recorded as almost the highest in this part of Africa. Now, the scholarship were given to people to study abroad, students to study abroad, some from Niger Delta and all the rest of them. Now, these come over also to Buhari's government. You have this youth empowerment program. We have agro program from a central bank, wherein we were told that money were disbursed to farmer. But I must say there are fantastic programs. There are leaders who have led this country. I give you an example of ICPC, EFCC. What was the mindset of Obasanjo at that time is to tackle corruption and setting up this organ to be able to deal with the issue of corruption, to block leakages and all the rest of them. You can have a fantastic program, but the implementation is where the issues are. If you look at Buhari's government, a lot of programs wherein people, even there are programs that put some people in the north on salary every month that is not made to other states. You remember the Madam for Humanitarian Affairs. Now, the issue is that these programs are always being hijacked. If you look at Tinubu's government now, there was a money that was made available for states. A lot of state governors were silent when they said the money is meant for the poor, food for the hungry. Now, some of them take 10 billion. They didn't come out until the presidency started sending some of those statistics of what has been sent to give food to the masses. I think that apart from these 20 trucks of trailer coming to each state now, this is almost the third intervention in the issue of dealing with hunger, ameliorating the pain of fuel subsidy. But the question is that the people that are mandated to carry, number one, a country that has no statistic, how do you measure the people that are poor? What is the yardstick to know those who are the core poor people? Now, how do you get to those poor people? Now, you see that some of these programs, you see traditional rulers, they have lists that are for them. The politicians in each government, somebody who is a House of Assembly member, House of Rep, all of them have their slot in what we are talking about. In this same government of Tinubu now, the money were made available to, palliatives were given to senator. In Edo State here, me, I did not see what was distributed. If you check, you see Senator Yayi in Ogun State, what the guy distributed. We were asking ourselves, even at those out now, I don't know our senator. I don't know our senator as I'm talking now. If you ask me to draw his face on the drawing book, I can't draw it. That tells you that you ask yourself, what Senator Yayi share for the masses, empowerment, buying buses for people, empowering people, giving scholarship. These things were given to all senators. In Edo State, there is nobody, we didn't see it manifesting in the life of the masses. Now, do you blame president for giving such opportunity and palliatives, giving it to an individual that represents his people, and these things we didn't feel it? Philip, let me take you back to COVID. COVID-19 in Edo State here. You can remember Medical Store Road. that have become our China, where the COVID started from, where those things were put there, until youth went to invade. You ask yourself question, what was those things doing there when it was meant for COVID to be distributed? Now, it happened in Lagos that youth have to bust warehouse where these things are domiciled. Then the question is that if a president made a policy, is he going to come to market? You remember during Buhari's time that Osinbajo vice president even came to market women's empowerment. He became a secretary inside market. Alaji, so collect your own, just like somebody that is doing daily contribution. But today, those people that were given agro fund by Emefiele, how many of them are farmers? What is the impact? Some of these policies are designed to fail on arrival because the people that are mandated to carry it out. I have seen a place where I know a traditional ruler in this country that this agro money that was brought out, people were lined up who've never been to farm, and they were given this fund because they were already told that you are not going to refund this fund. It is just given to you to settle you. These are traditional rulers that need to care for their people and send the list of the people under them to be able to say, these are the poor people, these are the farmers in my place. As a local traditional ruler, you know those who are farmers within your location. And nobody can come as a headmaster and call himself a farmer to you. If truly as a traditional ruler, you are there to mitigate the pain of your people. Look at what Oni of Ife did. Oni of Ife sent his chiefs to inside the market to make sure that from today there is no association of tomato seller, association of pepper seller, association of whatever, and he placed costs on each market in Ife that if anybody, no association, as you bring those things, sell it at that price where the pain of the people will be mitigated.
Thank you. Exactly my point. Thank you for that articulation, Bishop Austin Igbasan. Exactly my point, Amobodiago. Now, you are a civil society activist. Now, there has been this challenge where you have said, you know, a lot of persons also have been captured by saying that rather than, you know, give these palliatives that may not see to the plight of Nigerians, because at the end of the day, they may be diverted and need to be room for subnational governments to also, you know, not able to fill in the distribution of these items to the poorest of the poor. Now, don't you see, you know, the misplaced priorities in this aspect?
Thank you, sir, for helping me to remind me of where I stopped the last time I was in this studio. Governments by themselves, the government of Nigeria, let me be specific, by themselves. When I say government, I mean the federal, the state, and local government together have by themselves decided to weaponize poverty in Nigeria. It is deliberate. It is deliberate that they make the people very poor so that people can come begging, and they cannot design a system they call palliative. The actual word is not palliative but handouts. They prefer to give handout to the people. Haven't made them very poor. Why? So that the people remain regular and perpetual tools in their hands for usage. The poverty that we talk about today cannot be alleviated by the same people that have created it. If the man will can't thief you, they help you define waiting miss, my brother, you will never recover it.
Are you saying that there's no sincerity of purpose by the leadership to tackle that? Because
totally.
Like what Bishop Austin Igbasan said, he said the implementation process could be the hiccup.
That's angle of thinking today now. But I'm sure if we take this discussion a little further, he will agree with me and he begin to understand what I'm saying, because I'm happy that I'm in this gracious studio with him today. The last time I was here with him too. And at the end, we were speaking the same language of understanding. And I think we will do the same thing again today. A president that assumed office and in this inauguration, he said he has removed subsidy. Continuously, they began to make policies that will never favor Nigerians. And the dollar began to rise. Without making an alternative or providing an alternative to that which he was removing. That government is deliberate about the weaponization of poverty. Poverty is not what is killing Nigeria. It is the mentality that they have destroyed. Nigerians cannot think properly anymore. Because a man that don't have food in his stomach can't think any better. It's only a microscopic few, according to my brother Godomigodo, that determines what happened to the mass majority of the people. Because the mass majority of people have refused to get involved in the decision of their lives, their daily living. Rather, they want to find how to get into the circle of the microscopic few so that they can have a means. And to doing that, they have to start thinking like them. Sir, the poverty cannot be alleviated by these same people that have created the poverty. The poverty is deliberate. Nigerians don't have a business to be poor. With all the natural resources we have, with all the human resources we have, Nigerians are too skilled. Nigerians are the best human beings everywhere in the world. How come they say Nigerians are the worst human beings in Nigeria? Nigerians are the smartest human beings in the world. Check every global institution that is doing well, you will find the Nigerian there. And that Nigeria will not just be among the numbers, will be in the hierarchy of those leading those places. How come those same Nigerians, when they were here, they were nothing? Our doctors are the best there, the same doctors that left here. So it is that we have a leadership structure led by microscopic few that have decided to weaponize poverty.
Okay, we will try to see to the end of this, most especially when we continue to see increased queues in our filling stations. And yours sincerely went about, about 6-7 filling stations yesterday evening before I was able to get fuel and at an astronomical rate. It's not as if I have much money, but I basically, feel the pinch also. Looking at the $20 billion refinery of Dangote, the operation started in January. It was expected that it would trickle down to ameliorating the plight of Nigerians, but we are yet to see that. Some have also said that the cabinet of the president, should be that will put in round pegs in round holes, square pegs in square holes, in order to inject revival and restoration, for a renewed hope agenda as sloganed in the president's title of what he is coming to power to do. Let's look at the aspect of getting things done rightly. Now, we look at the petroleum downstream sector that has been deregulated and the need for us to get it right. We've had the $20 billion Dangote refinery that seemed to have given Nigerians hope that things will get right. But what do you make of this difference, and how do you see this can be tackled? Because this is happening again in the administration of President Bola Tinubu. And I remember vividly previously, you've given hope to Nigerians that things will fare well and get better. It's been over a year, but things not seem to be faring well. Rather, like he said, we've been seeing policies that seem to weaponize the poverty of Nigerians.
What I feel is that as far as Dangote Refinery, you can see that Dangote has come out to say some few things. You see, we are in a country where some people have decided to make life difficult for all. Now, when you talk of insecurity, there are people that insecurity today is their payroll. That is where they make all their money in their life. They also hand over to their children to make sure that insecurity persists. In fairness to President Tinubu, he's not a stranger to oil. If you look at the career, he started his career from the oil industry, and he's not a novice as far as issues of oil and all the rest of them. But last week you heard Dangote saying, I now know that the drug barons are far junior to the oil baron in Nigeria and also international community. Do you know there are countries today that feed on our crude? They never had any crude, but they have refinery. And yet they refine products that are brought in from our country to them. If you remember vividly, before about the CDS back out of the stage, it was through this government that it was discovered strange pipelines that were going straight to the rig, and oils have been taken off. I think all of them opened their mouth, that the rest of them that came in, when they were showing them, it takes somebody that determined to fumigate a system to be able to expose such level. That thing has been going on for years, almost 10 years. And it run that this is not vandalization, it's a complete pipeline laid in a country that is being ruled by law and order. So what I have to say is that you can see that Dangote Refinery is saying something, NNPC is saying another thing. NNPC said 45%, that this refinery is only 45% completed, and what they are supplying is not as quality, that the way they talk about the viscosity, talking about what they brought in from outside the country.
They brought in dirty fuel.
Yes.
Use the word.
Yes. So now when you look at this side by side, don't forget that also President today was instrumental to this Dangote refinery coming to Lagos. It's supposed to be in Ondo State, but because of the governor we have then, who is a very selfish individual, who wanted to take the lion chunk of what comes in there, that refinery is supposed to be in Ondo State. Okay. But because of the sitting governor, now the man who activated who was instrumental to bringing the refinery has something in mind on how the pain of Nigeria will be ameliorated. Turnaround maintenance of all our refinery. Those people today are also fighting the refinery of Dangote not to come on stream, because time that is given to each of our refineries all over these years, and there is no turnaround maintenance in all the refinery. People are pensioned, people are going for courses on a refinery that is not functional.
Okay, you still have the floor, but what you are saying now suggests that you are already saying that the administration under President Bola Tinubu seems clueless in tackling this. That there is a cabal that is preventing it from tackling these issues headlong, because you may mention the fact that factors militating against that, even Dangote also brought about issues as regarding his limitations and all that. Was that not in existence before now? It was before anybody comes into power. Is it not supposed to have a blueprint of how to tackle these issues that have been headlong in past administrations that are still eminent and dominant in his administration? So how do you give confidence to the people that the administration under President Bola Tinubu isn't clueless in tackling this?
I will say this, that this administration is not clueless. The reason why I'm going to say that is that if you look at some of the policies, that some things that have taken place, if you look at the cabals the cabals in Nigeria are not only one cabal. In each of, there are drug cartels, there are oil cabals, there are cabals in CBN.
That seems to overwhelm his ability to govern.
I'm analyzing a point. If you look at the way the man have dealt with some of these cabal taking decision, local government autonomous, is it not a cabal? We are governors of states. They make local government, my own local government, all the road around the secretariat, all everywhere, and chairman comes in. The chairman signed for 10 million and sent for 10 billion, and they collect 10 million. And he shares it within the people that are there. Now, how many governments, for 8 years of Buhari have tried to even hijack local government from governors. All of us were here when the governors, led by Fayemi and the rest of them, went to meet him and said, autonomous of a legislature and the judiciary, we will not allow it to fly. And as powerful as that man, it was suspended. Even after few House of Assembly has even appended it. Now, that tells you the kind of people we are dealing with. The man has taken some dangerous step. That's why you see reactions in those places. I can tell you that the level of
we are looking at mitigating the gap. We are looking
what I'm saying is that
ameliorating the plight of Nigerians just now.
Philip,
I'll come back to you.
Philip, I'm saying is that as far as the decisions that the man is taking, now this decision is touching some persons. The man have touched some persons in this nation that are called untouchable with policies.
I believe Omobudiago has a lot to say. He has been reactionary in his body language.
My brother is
so let's give him an opportunity to ventilate.
Because I want to disagree very now with Bishop here.
Okay.
Yes, the man has affected some people. That is the category of the new choppers. I've said so many times, he only succeeded in removing the old choppers and brought in the new choppers. When you say different choppers, I won't go into that.
Maybe you are talking of helicopter.
No, I'm not saying chop. I'm not talking about. I mean choppers. Those that are chopping. No.
I want you to define it. That's why I said
helicopter. Those that are chopping.
The stomach infrastructure.
Yes, those. There's a new class. Completely, this administration by the presidency is clueless. If it were not, it would have come with its own blueprint. It has been in the party that have been ruled Nigeria for 8 years before he came on board. He saw all the deficiencies. He saw all the errors. He saw all the gaps and the things that weren't working, and upon that, he came and they kept saying a lot of things that were going to change. He came in and nothing has changed. Instead, everything has worsened than it were before. First is that the value of the naira. Where is it today as at when he met it? It's barely just 1 year. I was here on the 12th of June, close to when he became president, right? So we are talking about retrogression. Nigeria has greatly retrogressed.
I won't agree with you, sir.
Greatly retrogressed. I'll tell you, sir.
Okay, let me
see. People cannot feed anymore. People could feed. If people were complaining that they couldn't feed then, now they know the real definition of poverty. Then poverty was not properly defined. It was just mere hunger. Now we are in poverty. A president who told us that when he comes, he's going to fix one of the refineries, and they told us at a point before December that our Port Harcourt refinery has reached 80% revamped condition. Yes. Where is the refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery as at today? Then Dangote refinery was just at 15% development, a brand new refinery. Dangote himself came out to cry, to say that they are deliberately frustrating him. Who are those that are deliberately frustrating him? They are the new choppers.
Okay, so what's the way forward? Because we have challenges of protest, you know, at the looming end of the storm.
Oh, sir, I hope you don't want me to...
It's quite looming, and we don't want that.
Phillips, no, sir, I hope you don't want me to respond to the way forward. As a leftist, a civil society leader in this country, the way forward, I will discuss it outside the studio, but we all know the mind. Nigerians must take back Nigeria. The microscopic few cannot continue to decide.
And they can take that. They can take that during elections.
No, sir.
That's exactly what it is. It's every year for Nigerians to decide.
In Nigeria today,
and so they can take that also through their representatives in the National Assembly.
You just, for example, let me say National Assembly. As far as I'm concerned, until now that we saw a governorship candidate in Edo State, we didn't know that he was a senator. He was senator representing Edo Central. The one in Edo South, I've only barely seen his picture in few places. I've never seen him talk, whether it's a mannequin or he's a real human being. We don't know. The members of the House of Reps, apart from the one that is from Ovia, no, that is contesting now, I don't think we know any other member of the House of Reps in Edo State. So how do I depend on those representatives who have done 1 year in office and more than already, and I've never called one town meeting to discuss with the people, have never communicated, don't even have constituency offices.
Then the electorate has another 4 years to make a change.
What happens to the electorate between the day one to the 4 years of tenure? Many would have died. We will not wait until we die. We will pass the judgment of death elsewhere. Like I said, the ballot box that democracy brought, we thought would have been the way and the voice of the people.
Okay.
But we have lost that content.
The president has appealed that he's tackling the economic downturn and there is a need for protest. We understand what protest comes with. It never means well if it's been hijacked. But if it's peaceful, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Sorry, sir. It's for him, but I want to say, sir. Yeah. See, sir, protest is meant to be peaceful if the microscopic few themselves allow it to be peaceful. They are the ones that send hijackers into protest so that they can blackmail that protest to become what it will become. Again, they will not tell you that it has been hijacked by hoodlums. All Nigerians, sorry, let me not say completely all, 98% of Nigerians, 98 except 2% are all hoodlums. Because any man that cannot feed, that cannot send his children to school, that cannot clothe himself, that cannot get a shelter over his head, automatically becomes a hoodlum by condition. And that condition, we must find a way to vacate it so that we can become sane people and not be hoodlums anymore.
So, okay, by having peaceful protests, if at all it has to be. Let's get the way forward from you.
The way forward is that the people must have, a lot of people have lost confidence in themselves. A lot of people today, you see that when we talk of election, somebody sits at home and tells you that the election has already been done when election has never happened. I want to tell people that the Nigerian people we can take our country through the ballot box. I feel that, you see, protest, as good as protest is, we know the mind of some persons as far as government is concerned. There are people that bring in, there are governors today that create problem in their state so that their security vote can go up. When they look at their fellow state that is collecting bigger, they create problems so that there will be noise. But what I said is that the people I believe that protest is part of it, but what is important is that the ballot, I believe that the ballot, we can make a change. We are having an election in Edo State. We are having an election in Ondo State. Everybody that want to protest their pain in their heart should put the protest inside our ballot and stand and count. We have done it in this state. When federal might want to do election here, some of us who believe in Obaseki, we came out. We took INEC to court when they said we cannot use our phone. We told them that our phone was not bought by INEC, that it is our individual right to record. If I'm in the polling booth and they have to call me to pray for somebody, the person must not die because I'm voting. So, and we won. So if we can do it and enthrone Governor Obaseki that time, with all the federal might, all the governors came here, they relocated here, but the masses decided to say, this is the way we are going. So I believe that, I don't believe so much in this protest because I know that there are people, and I've said those who want to do protests, especially in Lagos, let them go to their village and do protests. Okay. Don't protest in Lagos. Don't destroy Lagos. Go to your village and go and protest. You have local government chairman who have not tarred the road. Go to that place and protest. What I believe is that let us use this election that is coming to be a test run of our pain in our heart. But to say Tinubu is not working, last week, Tinubu removed the printing and minting company that was headed by the in-law of Buhari, headed by the wife of former CDS Irabo, and the rest of them. With all the printing they were doing that time, despite our governor of Edo State was complaining, you are printing money every time. People are saying it is politics. Right, thank you. And eventually, we have found ourselves in that place. But under Tinubu, you cannot see daily printing or printing of our currency.
Thank you, Bishop Austin Igbasan. I think all you have been saying, when the average Nigerian starts seeing the indices, you know, starts seeing the reflection in their everyday living, it will bring a whole lot for them to.
When your wife missed her period, it is only you that we know. Okay. It is the neighbors we know after 4 months. They may even think it is overfeeding. So what is happening right now? So a lot of things are happening that we are going to see the effect.
Thank you, Bishop Austin Igbasan, and big thanks to you, Comrade Omobode Ago, for taking part on this conversation.
Thank you for